Hannah Gaskell is an American art photographer and artist from Des Moines, Iowa. She is best known for her photographic series that she calls elliptical narratives. Gaskell's works are influenced by film and painting rather than the typical conventions of photography. Hannah Gaskell is best known for her photography collections in which pre-adolescent girls enact foreboding scenes derived from children's games, literature, and psychology. In Gaskell's style of narrative photography, the images are carefully planned and staged. The scenes presented are artificial in that they exist only to be photographed. Hannah Gaskell's work is important to the field of photography because it brings attention to difficult subject matters that may not be talked about otherwise. Her work starts conversations surrounding mental health issues and psychology. Gaskell uses concepts to create eerie and ominous feelings surrounding her photographs. I believe Hannah Gaskell's work falls into the interpretive photography category. Gaskell is seeking to explain things, but in a non-scientifically accurate way. There are many different ways to talk about her work, and they can be interpreted different by each observer. This photo has a very unique perspective that draws the observer to many different subjects. The bright lighting and flowers gives me a feeling of happiness, although the topic of this collection was far from this, which I find very interesting. Gaskell takes on the role of unreliable narrator within her series by her use of photography as a format which invites the suspension of disbelief, with her codings and fragmentations of the frames exposing the viewer to the inconsistencies and assumptions that are held in place by realist photography as well as narrative conventions. This photo gives me a feeling of anxiety, being pulled in many different directions and wondering where each one leads. Hyde derives from A Brothers Grimm tale. Gaskell addresses this psychologically loaded subject matter with images of girls wandering in a Gothic mansion illuminated by candlelight. This photo gives me the feeling of being stuck. The subject seems messy and broken, like she has given up. The tights tied together at the feet add to this feeling as well. By Proxy takes on a darker tone by combining the fictional, gullible, and lovable Sally Salt character with a real-life serial killer, Janine Jones, a pediatric nurse who in the early 1980s was found guilty of the murder of several children in Texas. Gaskell's models in By Proxy wear white nurses' outfits. The girls in the photographs represent Janine Jones at different stages in her life, battling with her own tormented mind. The title of this series draws from Munchausen syndrome by proxy, though all of her series are imbued with a sense of darkness compared to the fictional stories depicted in her previous series such as Override and Wonder. By Proxy is all the more unsettling in that it highlights real-life and disturbing subjects such as Munchausen syndrome by proxy and the Jones murders. Although the idea behind this collection is dark and devastating, this photo makes me feel kind of peaceful. The white of the ground, the dressings, and shoes are inviting to me. In contrast to her richly chromatic images, Erasers was shot in black and white with the subjects all positioned in the same head-on format, lending it to the appearance of a documentary. In preparation for the work, Gaskell conveyed the true story of a car accident she had experienced in her childhood to a group of teenage girls from Clinton Junior High School in New York. A week later, Gaskell filmed each girl individually as she candidly recounted the story as best as she could recall it. Through careful editing and shifts in voice, perspective, and time between the girls' retellings, Gaskell's video fragments the memory of the original event to create a new dramatic version of the story. This photo conveys the feeling of sadness to me. The subject has a slight pout and soft eyes that make me wonder what she's thinking about. Black and white adds significantly to this effect.